All right, guys, welcome into the first week of the fantasy football season. A little backstory to what's going on. Usually I do videos every week. This week, and this year actually, so that people can listen to it rather at work. They don't have to watch a 20-minute video and yada, yada, yada. They can have it playing in the background. I'm doing MP3s this week. And fun story, my laptop that had all my intros and everything and all my sound clips tried to blow up on me. So we're going to try stuff that's a little bit different. I'm going to do some new intros. I'm going to have to do some new donkey noises. I'm going to have to do some new oh yeah lineups, but we're going to swap that up a little bit this year, I think. I think what we're going to do, instead of the oh yeah lineup, we're going to call it the ham sandwich lineup.
Ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich. So, as you heard, we've got somebody who might be joining us tonight. Him and I are trying to do a little podcast. We got a third guy who's outside of the league that might join us every once in a while. But I got my boy over here, Joe. How we doing tonight, brother?
Living the dream, man. Living the dream. Undefeated still.
How's the week treating you?
Busy. A lot of injury updates, man. It was hard to stay on top of it all.
Man, today was nuts, dude. Just nuts. Joe Mixon and everything else, man. All these running backs. TJ Yeldon rolled an ankle. He's good to go. Leonard Fournette's not playing. I don't know what's going on, dude. It's chaos. Week 1. Love it. So let's go ahead and get right in, right off the bat. Let's start out with your boy AJ's dirty little secret and the world famous Joel's cunt is smelly.
Woo woo.
How's it smelling over there? You got any
I just
Febreze or anything?
showered, so it's not as smelly.
Okay, all right, fantastic. Starting out over here, just hitting the high points on my team. We had James Conner, which was the biggest pickup of the year so far, with 34.7 points. So far. I got Mike Evans, went ham sandwich for 27.2 points. And then I've got my QB Alex Smith backing it up thanks to Joel dropping him, 19.6. Appreciate that. And then over on the other side, Mr. Joel's kind of smelly, has Le'Veon Bell. Hate it for you, bro. Not really. And I play him 2 weeks in a row. A little fun fact. Because of the bye thing, I play him again this week, which is hilarious. He plays me 3 times this year, so I'm sure he's hating my life right now.
Ouch.
He's got Isaiah Crowell, which somehow went for 25.2 points, and then AJ Green, 16.2. We know he did last night, but we'll talk about that next week. Anything you want to point out?
Doug Baldwin getting hurt on like the first drive and missing like the entire game. That was rough. I know he was hating life with Ingram on the bench, Le'Veon on the bench, and then Doug Baldwin just comes out and right from the get-go.
I dropped Carry On, and he picked him up too. You saw that?
Yep.
Carry On's buried behind four running backs, dude. I know you made some predictions earlier. Go ahead. What was your prediction about all these rookies and stuff earlier this year?
I think on our other podcast we just talked about everybody was on the hype trains about all these rookies, blowing up, and I really don't think it's going to happen other than Saquon Barkley. I think he's going to be the one to do it. He's in the right offense, right coach. He's got the talent. I think the other guys, just because we've done it a couple years in a row, statistically, it doesn't usually happen that everybody blows up. I like Carry On, but probably not this year.
Yeah, I think AJ's team name should be living on a prayer because you got Le'Veon Bell out, Mark Ingram suspended, Aaron Jones suspended, and Doug Baldwin out. You need, man, you can be waiting a couple weeks for that thing to start revving up. But
yeah, hopefully he can get a win or two and survive.
He's going to have to wait till week 3 or 4 at least, man. Let's jump over to your game real quick. I'll let you go ahead and run that one down.
Okay. Well, mine was pretty interesting. I really didn't think Drew Brees was going to – I thought Tampa Bay was going to just roll over and die. And New Orleans, they didn't. So New Orleans had to throw the ball. Drew Brees got me 36.6, loved it. Melvin Gordon did a lot of work for me. Keenan Allen did great work for me. Rex Burkhead, it's a Patriots running back, so you never know what you're going to get. I took a gamble with him. Emmanuel Sanders, liked him versus the not-so-good Seattle Seahawks defense anymore.
27.5 points. Woo.
27.5 on my flex. Love it all day. Made the right calls for the most part. Could have substituted some here or there. And then my best friend, Mr. Rudolph Strong, did not start Rudolph. He probably should have. He would have got a couple more points, but it still wouldn't have paid off.
You're leaving out the most important part, the fact that you're lined up with the ham sandwich of the week. So
ham sandwich.
You get the highest of the week.
Yes, sir. Didn't I start out last year as the
I
lineup?
think you did because if I remember right, Kareem Hunt went bananas for
Had
like
like
4
44
weeks.
points.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, yes,
yeah,
it
that was
was crazy.
So this year it's a Drew Brees for me. I'll take it. Ham sandwich lineup of the week, man.
Of the week, you went up against Rudolph Strong, who, for those of you who don't know, if you were just under a rock at the draft or drafting 2 drafts and not noticed, Rudolph Strong took 2 tight ends, and his second one was Kyle Rudolph right before Joel wanted him. So, thus the name. Thus the name. How did Kyle Rudolph do this week?
7.6. He did better than Evan Ingram at 2.8. But
Yeah,
the Thursday night game with Julio Jones scoring 26 points had me a little worried. They were trying to get him in the end zone. I was thinking it was going to be a 36-point game, so I was lucky to escape with 26 points. Kirk Cousins is one of my quarterbacks in the other league. I have him and Alex Smith, so it was a toss-up. 20 points, not bad. Dalvin Cook had a pretty decent game. It went about as what we expected first game back from a big injury. Telvin Coleman, 11 points is solid from him. Going to be a good play this week with Freeman out. But yeah, everybody else kind of filled in where they were supposed to. Rams defense did great, of course, versus Oakland.
of course. And I will say, it's kind of funny about his lineup, too, if you notice. He's playing a QB RB stack, and he's playing an RB wide receiver stack. So I kind of feeling like he's going against the grain here, and more power to you if that's your strategy, or you try to trade somebody because, like, obviously if a wide receiver's doing well, running back's not doing well. If QB's doing well, your running back's not doing well. Like, I just feel like it's counterproductive.
Yeah, but I also had a stack, too. I've got Melvin Gordon and Keenan Allen, and I also have Austin Eckler now as well. So I'm on that San Diego hype train.
You might as well go. You might as well go get Phillip Rivers and be done with it.
Send me a trade offer, Phillip Rivers.
No shit. Next up, let's hop over to the Philadelphia Bison bye week. We'll just make this real quick. Obviously, you barely beat the What Help box score. 117.4 points. Phillip Rivers, there he is, Mr. 34 points right off the top. And Jarvis Landry had like 800 catches for 17.1 points. Jordan Reed had 12.8, and the Ravens D blew the fuck up all over Buffalo, man. I think Buffalo's going to struggle this year. They pulled all their starters by like the second quarter. I don't know what they're doing. They got the rookie starting this week. It's going to be rough. It's going to be ugly.
Yes, it is. Have faith in Amari Cooper. He's coming back. They're going to get him the ball.
See, my thing is, I told you in another podcast that Cooper is my flop of the year, and I still stick to it, dude. I don't think he's going to get the ball this week. They just signed Martavius Bryant again. I think Cook is going to be super involved with that because Denver, I believe they're playing this week, right? And Denver sucks with the tight end, so Cook will probably go ham sandwich again this week. Personally, they
could be
targeting him. You got Adrian Peterson, 21.6 points, sitting on the bench. Randall Cobb sitting on the bench. Not that it mattered. Lucky for you, but maybe next week he'll swap those in. We'll see what goes on with that. Why don't you run down the Dolphin domination and is he still available schedule?
All right. On Dolphin domination side, you had Deshaun Watson having a poor outing. Was a little surprised by that. Mm-hmm. But, it's sophomore. Maybe it's sophomore slump. Maybe teams are just prepared for him now. LaShawn McCoy threw up a big dud. Kareem Hunt threw up a big dud. Don't get too frustrated there. LaShawn McCoy may be something to worry about. Stephon Diggs had a decent showing at 12.6. Jimmy Graham, not a big fan of him. Only threw up 1.8. We'll see what happens with that. You got the Jags defense, which is always solid. Kicker at -1 point. That's going to happen sometimes with the nerfed kickers in this league. You got Chris Goodwin on the bench and Jeff and Jared Goff on. You could have made a couple extra things, but it just looked like your team was going to have a rough week pretty much no matter what. Because even if you added your bench points, you still wouldn't have scored what Is He Still Available scored. Speaking of Is He Still Available, we got Matt Ryan, which had a really rough game. That was a sloppy Thursday night game for everybody. We got Saquon Barkley, who I loved going into this year, 22.8. One good run. He minus the 6 points, minus 10 points, still would have been 12 versus a Jacksonville defense. True. Kind of hard to argue that would have been bad. Especially for his first start. But then you got Alex Collins, 6.4. He's a little troublesome. We're going to see where he goes. T.Y. Hilton had a good game back with Andrew Luck. I think there's brighter days to come to that one. You got Michael Thomas, of course, with Drew Brees going off.
Jesus. Yeah.
You had Michael Thomas just going freaking
Dude,
crazy.
you had Michael Thomas and Tyreek Hill. Holy shit.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill was an absolute man-child out there, just embarrassing people all over, up and down the field. With 41.9 points, Delaney Walker, tough luck there. Hope he picked up somebody good on the waiver wire this last year. Other than that, you had Juju Smith. I mean, you might have played him for Ty, but not. I mean, even that's tough, man. You made a pretty solid play, and you got the win.
And Dolphin Domination, I hate it for you, but you are the donkey this week. The donkey of this week, sir. Yes, sir. Let's hop on over to I'm a Snowflake and Trubisky's Balls. We got some change up of these names, man. We gotta mention some of these at the end of the show. Trubisky's Balls. So let's run over here. We've got I'm a Snowflake whooping up on Trubisky's Balls, real close, 129 to 118. That was a really good shootout. We got Aaron Rodgers that went down and came back with the game of his life with a bum knee, throwing to Randall Cobb like crazy. Todd Gurley going 25.2 points, and Jay Ajayi over here going 20.2. Odell going 19.5. A lot of big names on there. You got Andrew Luck sitting on the bench for 22.5. Trubisky's Balls over here, we have Chris Thompson going 21.8. That's kind of surprising. I know you don't have a lot of running back depth, but playing Chris Thompson is pretty ballsy. He came out pretty strong. Rob Gronkowski, you're going to Gronk smash every time. And
pretty much.
Andy Dalton going 16.5 against those Colts, man. I don't know. You got a lot of hurt people on his bench too. Wentz is out. Yeah. Fuller's out. Mack is still questionable. Dak was just struggling.
Yeah, but Trubisky's Balls made the right calls. I mean, he really couldn't have done much better. So I don't think there's really blaming him. It was just a rough week, and you're going to have those.
But he's got 3 quarterbacks on his roster. That's all right.
Well, until you get word on Wentz, it's not necessarily a bad idea.
I guess. And last but not least, Joe will take us home with Hulk Hogan and Van Damage.
All right. We got Hulk Hogan versus Team Van Damage. Van Damage with the win, 131.5 to 96.7 for Hulk Hogan. On Hulk Hogan's side, Tom Brady showing out like he does, 21 points. Solid game versus a pretty good defense. Nothing to complain about there. Carlos Hyde, good call on that. That's kind of a running back by committee, but he looks to be taking over strong. Adam Thielen, solid. Cooper Kupp, solid. 15.3 on that one. Really nothing you could have done on your bench, man. Made pretty good calls. Maybe your flex you could have changed out, but that's hard to call. Tough game by Ty Montgomery. Who'd have seen that? Him scoring that low in that game. On Team Van Damage side, we got Joe Mixon with 23.4. Looks to be solid. He's going to be a good player. I mean, I know he's got the knee work. It's a little concerning, so we'll see where he goes. Alvin Kamara as your keeper. That's just the craziest thing that you got Alvin Kamara in like the 11th round. Basically, it's just he's going to be stupid for you all year, especially for the next 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Antonio Brown doing what Antonio Brown does. Even though they didn't have a very good game, still 19 points. Devontae Adams, 17 points. Everything else, nothing really to shake at. Kenyon Drake pretty much did what he's probably going to do all year. He's going to have a breakout here or there, but he's probably going to score around 10, 12 every week. You got Russell Wilson on your bench with 20 points. Probably could have started him over Matt Stafford, but then again, who saw Matt Stafford getting absolutely blown out by the Jets on a Monday Night Football game? And then Kenny Stills, man, you got Kenny Stills on your bench. Maybe trade Stills for the running back because that defense looks awful.
He's not going to trade Stills. He's a Miami fan. I think that was a homer pick, honestly. And then
I meant Kenyon Drake for Stills, maybe because I have a feeling that they're going to be throwing a lot this year.
Probably. And I mean, I can't blame him, man. I would have done the same thing. I wouldn't have made any other calls. And Tyler Lockett might be good, now with Doug Baldwin out. They paid him all that money, so it's either going to be him, or someone else is going to emerge at some point. Someone's going to emerge from that offensively. So I know kind of ran through these. I know we did a lot of good drafts. Some of us did drafted better than others. I know we kind of ran through these real quick, but if you had to pick somebody just looking through that kind of stuck out to you to make, let's say, the finals or even maybe win this thing, what's your pick like right now, week 1?
That's actually easy. I was kind of looking at things the other day. Let me get to him. Where are you at? Yeah, my boy Jared with Mr. I'm a snowflake.
Yeah.
I think I think all of his guys are probably pretty solidly high floor guys. I think the fact that he scored 129 points this week is probably going to be about where he's sitting most weeks. He didn't have anybody go two bananas. He had, Aaron Rodgers to 24 points, Todd Gurley at 25 points. Those are probably going to happen on just about every week. Jay Ajayi got 20 points. That might be a little high for him, but I mean, he looks to be the starter there, and he's gonna. It looks like he may run away with it. So that may be, a 15-point floor every week. Odell Beckham, even, he had a rough game against a great defense, 19 points. Larry Fitzgerald is solid, 11 points this week on week 1, but, there's going to be ups and downs there. You can't have all crazy great players, but I mean, you're pretty close. Your top 5 wide receiver, or your top 4 wide receiver, running back, quarterback are all just stupid solid. Defense solid with the Broncos. Trey Burton, was a big fan going in. That one hurt me a little bit too. Rough game week 1, but I think there's again brighter days to come for that. And I think he's probably got the most loaded team. I mean, there's some other good ones. I'm certainly not hating on a few others, but just looking at things, I was worried about Ajayi, but seeing Ajayi after week 1, man, that looks like a great. I think that was a keeper for him. So I think that's the one that stood out the most to me.
I think for me, I think is he still available, honestly? And here's the thing, right? So if anybody, first of all, is Tyreek Hill and Michael Thomas in a lineup is already starting out right. I think those two guys could be easily both top 5 wide receivers this year. I know he's got Alex Collins. I know it's worrisome, but honestly, he could probably trade. So this is the thing: he's got Saquon Barkley, right? As his RB1. Alex Collins, I know he may not be good all year. He could probably trade either T.Y. Hilton or Juju Smith-Schuster for like a decent RB2 to somebody who could really use it. And he could flex a tight end. I mean, he's got Saints defense. I know they had a bad swing, but they upgraded that defense this year. I don't think it's as bad as it looked originally. And honestly, he scored 131 points. Just looking at that was the one that stuck out to me as we were kind of going through. I would take him probably in the finals. That's a pretty solid lineup. He does have Chris Hogan on the bench too. And it kind of falls off a little bit from there. He's got Chris Carson sitting there. I know he takes the number 1, but I don't know, man. Like I think Juju Smith-Schuster is one Antonio Brown injury away from being like a wide receiver 1. Then you got Michael Thomas and Tyreek Hill, which is just stupid. And you got T.Y. Hilton to trade if you had to. So I think if you had to, I think that's probably one of my front runners there too. So I like these names. So is he still available? I don't get that. Do you? Any idea?
I mean, in every draft, there's always one guy that's like, "Is he still available?
Okay.
Is he still available?
All
hey,
right.
Is that guy? No, is that guy? Oh,
yeah, but
there's always that one.
I don't think he did that. Maybe I said that. I said that one time, didn't I? I think I said that once in there, but not too often. They got Trubisky's balls changed his name, and obviously AJ's dirty little secret. We talked about that, and Joe's cunt smelly is hilarious. So. Yeah, I kind of like that too, man. This was a pretty awesome week 1, honestly. Like, all the chalk hit, right? I think everybody scored touchdowns. Everybody ran 100 yards. Everybody who thought was going to do good did well. Honestly, some of them kind of lacked, but for the most part, it was just crazy fantasy production out the yang. I think everybody did well, man, and I'm really impressed.
Yeah, it was a good week, man. Definitely, there wasn't any games that really had anyone sweating. I was kind of trying to pay attention here or there, and that was the only thing I could say. That I mean, really going into it, I'm a snowflake, and Trubisky's balls was relatively close. That was a little nerve wracking, but
and going into
nothing.
The week, BB Trubisky's balls is actually favored.
Yeah.
So I agree. That was pretty cool, man. I appreciate you hopping on real quick or make this real fast. You have anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
Oh, that you're all going down. I'm repeating.
I don't think so, sir. You got a lot of people behind you coming for you.
Oh, yeah. I expect it.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. Well, it was good talking to you. We'll do this probably again next week. Maybe Rodney will join us. Be kind of fun. But yeah, man. Well, I'm
Sound
Justin.
good. And I'm Joel.
All right, brother. We'll catch y'all next time. See ya.
Good luck, guys.